my glasses. This is the first mistake. Can't see nothing. Gotta put my eyes on.
Wyclef Jean, BKS1 Radio. Let's go.
This is Essence Atkins, and this is BKS1 Radio.
Hi, this is Melba Moore, and you're listening to BKS1 Radio.
Yo, check it out. What's the deal? This the chef. Giving a big shout out to my peoples. Big KS, you already know what it is. Salute.
What's up? It's your girl Monifa, and I'm hanging with BKS1 Radio.
Hi, I'm Iyanla Van Zandt, and you're listening to BKS1 Radio.
BKS Radio, baby.
Hey, this is Jasmine Guy for BKS1 Radio.
What's going on? This is Lamont Rooker, and this is BKS1 Radio.
Shout out to BKS1, the best kept damn secret in the business.
Hey, what's up? This is Raven Goodwin from BET's Being Mary Jane, and shout out to BKS1.
Hi, this is Leon. You're watching BKS1 Radio.
BKS1. God bless y'all.
Hello, and welcome to BKS1 Radio, the Owl Show. It is your girl. Am I in the camera? I ain't even in the camera, y'all. It's your girl, Latoya Chanel, and I am here and blessed to be here on another Tuesday night, y'all. And I am excited about tonight's conversation. Why am I excited about tonight's conversation? Because we are continuing on with our journey about love and about relationships and about us coming together. And we had the fellas on, for 4 different shows, and it was extremely eye-opening, and it was a great perspective. But again, now it's the ladies' turn, and we started last week. So thank you so much to the ladies, because we got a lot out last week. We asked a lot of questions. It was eye-opening to some of the fellas, including Norm the General, who's in the studio with us. I said, wow, are we really like that? And we had to answer him, yes, y'all are. So in the meantime, though, shout out to my partner, my BFF. Y'all know that's my ride or die, Miss Queen B. She is under the weather today, so she is not in the studio with us right now, but I'm sure she'll be watching if she is even sitting up at this point. But in the meantime, I have in the studio with me to my right, y'all know her. This is Miss Tiffany right now. Okay, this is Tiffany, who has her own show. This is the Making Me Matter show, and her show is right after mine. So you guys don't have to stop watching; just keep watching. So you go from my show and you go to her show, and that's just how it go. And I absolutely love it. I also have back in the studio with me again, we have Shalonda, who is here. Thank you so much, Shalonda. We have Jessica, who is here. Thank you so much, Jessica. And we have my girl who is normally here on Thursday nights for the Storm Morning Show, but we have my girl, Miss Akisa, is in the building with us tonight. Hello.
What's up,
and
ladies?
thank you so much. Are all our mics on? I don't think all our mics are on, Norm. Can you fix that for us?
Yeah, I'm on.
Yep, we good? We all good? I think we all good. Okay. But in the meantime, all right, so we are just going to get right into the conversation, because last week we left off asking a bunch of different questions. And so last weekend we ended off with the accountability question, right? And we ended with, what are some of the things, everybody's already laughing, right?
No, I'm over here clearing the throat.
What were some of the things you learned about yourself, and what were some of the things that you learned differently? And when I went back and watched the show, and y'all know I don't normally watch the show because I don't like the sound of my voice, and I don't know how we all friends, because I wouldn't be able to listen to it all the time. But anyway, when I went back and I watched the show, it's so funny how the comments changed, right? There were like 100 and something comments, but the comments in the beginning of the show was like, oh boy, what they going to say, this, that, or the other, da, da, da. And then by the time we got to the end of the show, when we were talking about accountability, everybody was like, oh, well, that was nice. Well, that's respectful, and and I'm sitting there watching these comments, and I was like, this is hilarious. Why wouldn't you think that we are accountable as women for our actions and the things that we have learned in love in life? But whatever. Anyway, so for people who are just tuning in, we are talking to women about why we are single, things that we are learning, what's going on out here, how we can be better, and what we can do as a community, to come together, to get relationships together. And we specifically asked me. I say we, me and my girl, Miss Queen B, specifically asked you all to be on the show because you represent women out here who are single and from different walks of life, right? And so, Tiffany, I asked you, being in ministry, right? Because everybody thinks, oh, well, if I just go and I can just pray about it, then this is going to be fixed and it's going to be changed and it's going to be, no, right? So I specifically asked Tiffany, I specifically asked Shalonda, being a single mother with a child, what are your experiences out here? What are some of the things you're seeing? We specifically asked Jessica, after having been married and with someone for over 2 decades, what is life like for you? Because now you're just coming back out here, right? Yep. And I specifically asked Akisa, who couldn't be here last week, who was here this week, because you're my celebrity, right? And so when because I'm the fourth member. I know. I'm the 4th member of Allure. I don't know if anybody knew that. So sometimes y'all can hear my vocals on some of the songs, and we'll just get into that later. But It's funny because when I'm having conversations with some of my girls, we're always like, well, look at this one. Look at Regina King. Look at Regina Hall. Look at Cookie. What's Cookie?
Taraji.
Look at Taraji. Yeah. Look at all of these women that are beautiful. They are in shape. They are healthy. They are successful and single. Mm-hmm. Right? You know what I mean? So it's like, is there something with the industry? You know what I mean? Having access to all kinds of men, so Akisa represents that for me, because you are in rooms and you are in spaces that other people are not in. Mm-hmm. So it might be a different kind of man. You know what I mean? And these, what are they calling it? What are they calling these men? These high-level men, what is it called?
High quality.
What is it called?
High value.
That's it. High value men.
I didn't even know that was a
new
thing.
High value men.
Wait a minute.
It's high value men, right? So Akisa's in spaces with these high value men that make certain amounts of money, that travel the world and own businesses and corporations and do all this stuff, being in the entertainment industry. So you have access to this. What's going on? You know what I mean?
I don't know. All I can do, no. Honestly, what I can say is being in, like you said, in these rooms and in these spaces, I've dabbled once or twice with someone that was on my level. I hate the word celebrity because I don't know. It just makes me itch sometimes. But as far as like someone who does what I do. Yeah. And to be honest, it's weird because of the fact that these type of men, I can't say all of them, but what I've experienced is it's kind of a waste of time if they're not looking to like have something kind of like real and they don't want to settle and things of that nature. So for me, I'm in a situation and I'm like, well, I like this guy. I really like this guy. I know I'm in it for the, with the best intentions, but he's still, busy with trying to figure out who's going to be the next one next week. And the next one the next month. So it just wasn't for me. And honestly, like I get the same type of vibe even in real life. You know what I mean? Like I've always had, for the most part, regular relationships with like, roundaway guys, so to speak, with people that I've known, that I grew up with or things of that nature. But like, it's the same thing. I think everybody, no, let me not say everybody. There's a lot of men out here that aren't ready to not be F-boys, if you know what I mean. Yep. They're still trying to play around. They still want extra on the side, and a lot of people aren't being transparent in the very beginning. They're not saying what they want, and I think that's a big mistake. When you start talking, even if you're in the talking stage, say what you want. Because I know that when I like somebody, I go hard. Right away.
We had that conversation last week.
We did.
Yes, he did.
And me and you talked about that in the
we
car
talk about that
ago.
all the time.
Right.
Uh-huh.
So like, I'm the type of girl that if I really, really like you, I want to get to cooking for you. I want to get to massaging you. I want to get to how was your day? I'm texting you. Did you eat? Stuff that typically I wouldn't care about. I don't care about your favorite color. And now I'm just at a place where I'm like, I'm kind of loving on me right now. I saw a meme the other day where the guy said, strengthen your relationship with God, and on your path, if you happen to see somebody who sparks interest, then you introduce yourself. Because within that space, then maybe that's why it's happening. It's weird out here. It's honestly very, very weird. You know, so I don't think it matters whether it's celebrity or somebody you know from up the block. If they're not ready, then
everybody's
they're not ready to
experiencing the same thing.
Yeah, the same thing.
Everybody's experiencing,
and it's both women and men. I'm not saying just men. It's women too.
Yeah,
a lot of women are they you know they want to play too, and they looking for the wrong things and the wrong situations, and it's sad.
Yeah,
it's scary.
But that's because they watching all this craziness with these Real Housewives.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, I've said this before, that you got these Real Housewives that aren't even wives anymore.
Right.
And so you have people that
or
are
some
trying
of them
to,
never were.
or never were. And so you have this unrealistic expectation of how I should be.
It's warped. Yeah.
Right. And then these are women that are not like that. And then they have the audacity to want a man to treat them, these high value men, to treat them like they're up here when they still are struggling with their identity down here.
Right.
You know, so.
But aren't we all, but see, this is my point. Aren't we all people of a certain age? Don't we know that TV is acting?
Right.
Why is the expectation in the real world that men are supposed to be like this and women are supposed to be like that? Like, are we all completely detached from what love and relationships are supposed to be?
Delusional for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I hate to say it, but people are.
Yeah.
We're still being, even though we are of a certain age, we are still being brainwashed. We're on. Better. Yeah. We're on the phone. We're feeding into the reality shows. So even at our age, we still are being brainwashed a little bit, and that's why we have, I don't want to say high expectations, but sometimes not met expectations. So because you got to have expectations.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because we need to turn these mics up. When did we get to be? When did we get to be so unrealistic in love and relationships? Yeah. Is it really the fact that we have all been watching television and we all got this false representative? Is it that? Is it social media? Some people say, well, now you got access to everybody and everything. Yeah. Like, when do we feel like the breakdown occurred? Because I feel like all of us feel that in the 90s, we still were all in love, right?
Yeah.
Everybody was still in love in the 90s. Yeah. And it was still real love. No, shout out to Mary J. Blige. But, it was still real love. Yeah. Akisa was traveling the world. Akisa was singing, all cried out in Japan and everywhere else, right? And we was all singing them songs with her. And we were all still feeling and experiencing real love then. What happened in the last 20 years that we are all, go ahead Shalonda, that we are all not experiencing that anymore?
I mean, for me, I love.
Right.
Like, absolutely. That's just my thing. I absolutely love it.
Yeah.
But I think social media has a lot to do with it, honestly. The DMs, the inbox, the messaging, it's a lot.
Lord, these DMs.
It's sneaky, and I've experienced, they now have apps where you can hide stuff. Like,
oh yeah.
So I used to be a lurker, so my dude, like, I wouldn't even say a lurker, but I went through phones. Like, I would crack codes and everything. Like, and I've seen an app where. And that's crazy because I've seen an app where the person, it looks like a music app where they can, I'm loud.
No, you're perfect.
Oh, okay. So I seen an app where you can actually, it was like volumes. I cracked the code of the volume and saw he had a file of his ex-girlfriend. Like, everything was in there of her.
Oh, yeah. I mean...
Ask me how did I know? I had no clue. It looked like a volume. Like, you see how the board looked?
Yeah.
And the code was the levels of the volume.
Oh my God.
I cracked it. You gotta be a certain type of yeah. And that I ain't gonna say that's what love does. I don't think that's love. It's not.
Can I ask a question?
That is not love.
Because Because now my question,
not to the point where I'm crazy like that, and I can crack a code.
We've all been there.
We've all been there, but something had to get you to that point, where your trust level was like, I got 0.
Yeah.
Because nobody spends that kind of time trying to crack codes
unless
they've been that
It
hurt.
actually didn't. Not to be funny, it didn't take that much time to crack it.
I'm done with you. I'm done with you.
I'm just being honest. But like I said,
I
don't give
you
up
need
on
to work for the CIA.
You know what?
But I love, and I've grown from that. And honestly, I have grown from it. And
but you saying that you feel like it's the internet?
I do.
Okay.
Yes,
all right.
I do.
Jessica, you said you feel like
I put more on social media, and I think it's our fault. And like go back to like we know reality shows is acting, but there's so many people that believe that what you post
is real.
Your entire life, not necessarily real, because what I post is real. But I don't post my entire life. You're only getting
a snippet.
Right. You're getting the highlights. Like perfect example, non-date related. When I go on my work trips, I post the fun stuff. Y'all don't see us in the office, in the meetings for 8 to 10 hours. But y'all, what do you do? Right? And you get that from females and males. What do you do? What you doing? And your DMs is blowing up, right? So it's social media.
Okay.
Yeah, it's different. I don't know. For me, like back in the day, I wasn't how she said she was a lurker. I always believed in careful what you're looking for because you might find it and all this good stuff.
Yeah,
I definitely
because to me, when I was younger, growing up, seeing my mom and just seeing family and friends or whatever, this is not the same love that I grew up on.
No, it's
absolutely,
not.
it's not.
No, it's
like
not.
the communication was different.
Right.
The way we handled things was different. Like I never felt the need, and maybe it was because. Not to say that I was insecure, but I had relationships with the men that I was with. They made me feel secure.
Right.
I didn't feel like there was anything going on until that one time. When the fool want to fall asleep with the phone in his hand, bright conversation open, talking to a woman in California about what's going on between me and him, and talking about me like I was a dog. And I'm like, I'm sorry, sir. The same person that's been paying bills and helping you hold the house down whenever I can, and doing the best that I can. So I thought. And it's like, and there's the person that I was engaged to. So it's like, what are we talking about? So now, when you start opening these portals, and like she said, it's set up to a point. I feel like social media right now it's like an open invitation or an open reason for a lot of. And again, I'm not saying men, women do it too, but for people to be sneaky. Because like if you, I don't know if you've ever seen it, like you talking to a guy and he's one way on Instagram, you go to Facebook, he's a different way. Then you poke into threads, and then you poke into stuff that you didn't know even existed. Like, well, what's this link? And you click on it, and there's a whole other profile. And just the way they talk to other women and what it's just like, who are you?
I said that on Instagram one time. I said a man could be Ray on Instagram, and then on Facebook, he's Rashawn, blah blah blah, with a picket fence, a dog.
True.
They got kids, a family, the wife, they taking pictures, and on Instagram,
please don't get me started on that.
He for the streets on Instagram.
But not even that, because even those posting everything every time they go on a trip, posting everything but the woman they with.
Listen.
And we talked about that before.
We talked about that.
And girl, this is exactly why I'm sitting in this seat right now talking about I'm a love on me, because like I can't. Like I don't understand. You people, nobody's real. Nobody's real. It's like everybody comes in, like we said, we meet the representative at first, and then give it a couple of years or so, and then here come the CEO.
Listen.
And he's a son of a
I don't have a couple of years. I'm just saying.
I don't have any more, girl.
Right.
I don't
You
have
said
no
you don't
more
have any
years
more
left.
what?
I
No.
don't have a couple of years. She said you get the.
Oh yeah, the CEO.
Well, because you have to, when you meet somebody, you have to go through the motions of figuring out who these people are. But sometimes you go through 5, 6, 9, 10 years, and then you still don't know this person.
People do it. People
Girl,
do it.
bye.
Here's where I am with it. Right. I said why it has changed in the last 20 years. I feel like, and I hate to go back to this because everybody be like, oh my God, like I sound like some of these men out here. I feel like, y'all, everybody going to kill me when I say this. I feel like men are going to cheat. They're 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 going to cheat. And I feel like, and women, there are women that cheat too.
Right.
But I feel like for the sake of this conversation, men been cheating since the beginning of time. And I feel like unfortunately, social media has just made it worse. And unfortunately, we see it more now than as women than we've ever seen it before, because unfortunately it is right in front of our faces, right? But I feel like the last 20 years, and I've been saying this for the last 10 to 15 years, I feel like as people, as a culture, that we have all lost our space. I feel like I believe in traditional roles. You know, everybody doesn't believe in traditional roles in relationships. I do believe in traditional roles in a relationship. And I've been saying this for years now. I don't feel like anyone knows their place.
Oh, Toya, that's good.
And I feel like for the last 20 years, it's just been getting worse and worse and worse and worse. And this is why you are seeing men, like now you seeing these memes where it's like they want flowers, like, do we need to start sucking on they whatevers? Like, it's like, it's like they want to be picked up, we need to open the car doors for them. It's like these new men are like, well, I'm the prize, come and chase me, and like, you see what I'm saying? Like, I feel like
that's always been there.
I feel like year after year it's getting worse and worse and worse. So you have so many men who are now acting like that. And unfortunately,
acting like women, and a lot of women acting like men.
And unfortunately, like me and Jessica talked about last week, now we are pursuing them. We are showing them that we are stable. We are showing them what we can add to their lives and what we can do for them. And I can handle this for you, and I can take on this for you, instead of them doing that for us.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? We feel like we're doing it out of love, but in essence, historically, that's what men did to show us.
Right.
They showed that they could provide out of love.
I have a question. So you say you're the traditional, you believe in the traditional roles, which I agree is a lost belief. But are you finding men that are willing to take on the traditional roles? Because they say in their profiles and when you talk to them that they want the traditional woman, they want this, right? I see it in all these profiles. But are they willing to take on the traditional male role? And that is what I think is missing. Because in order to get the traditional woman who stays at home, who does this and that, and cleans and cooks and all of that, you have to be willing and able to pay the bills.
So the thing is, and this is why I say people don't know their position, because you do have a lot of men that are saying, oh, yeah, I want a traditional woman. Y'all aren't soft anymore. Y'all aren't feminine. But a lot of these men want concubine, lover, providers.
Right.
So it's like, you don't want me to be the provider in the relationship too, where I'm doing all the things that you're doing financially, but you want me to be this submissive person that's coming to you for every, like, which one is it?
Like the thing,
which one is it?
I think we've lost sight of, like, what happened to building each other up. Now it's like,
what can you do for me?
It's that, but they come forward with this energy where it's like, at the end of the day, there's always been women out there that want to cater to men. Always. There's always been women, from what I saw when I was growing up, that would buy men flowers or that would take men out on a date, and there wasn't an issue with it. But now it's almost like they have this persona where it's like, I got all my shit together. What do you have? But meanwhile, you
what
don't.
Do you bring to the
nobody,
table?
And I hate that phrase.
Me too.
Because realistically speaking, I don't care who you are. Nobody 100% has their ish together.
No. But the thing is, the whole table conversation isn't even about people having their ish together. Why do men of other cultures and other races in other countries know that women are tables? And why the ones here don't? You know, if you have a woman in your life, she is an asset to you. I don't even gotta quote scripture. I don't gotta even go into he who findeth a wife findeth a good thing and also finds favor. That's Bible, right? So even if I take it away from Bible, men of other cultures in other parts of the world know that if you have a good woman in your life, you will be blessed. You will have more. Everything in your life will multiply. So all of that, what do you bring to the table conversation when you have a good woman that like what are we really talking about?
That's because nowadays
here?
a good woman is not even enough in most situations.
But
you can have a good woman, but they're still looking for more. But you're good. But it's like
because there's a transition. Because again, we have so many men acting like women in relationships, and we have so many women acting like men in relationships. And anytime you got a bunch of people that don't know their place, you're gonna have confusion.
Right. But that's why I said say what it is from the beginning. Because a lot of people are doing relationship stuff with people that they don't even want to be in a relationship with. Right. What's the point? Like, you're wasting my time. You're coming over, you're cuddling, you're coming over, you're hanging out, we're going on dates, we're doing things as a couple, but yet you never had any intention of pursuing a relationship with me. Right. So what's the point?
Right.
So therefore, leave me alone.
No, I was going to say, going back to the comment about men want to be women. I had received flowers last week, and the guy, no. I was at the party and I got flowers for my birthday and stuff. Okay. And the guy, one of the guys there was like, "Oh, where's my flowers?" He called himself a baddie.
A man?
Okay.
He was like, "I'm a baddie too." He was like, "Baddies receive flowers." He was like, "Where's my flowers?" I said, "Well, do you want one of mine? Because I had a bouquet." I said, "Well, I can give you one of mine." He said, "No, I want the whole thing." He said, "I'm a baddie too." He said, "Baddies will, he said baddies can get flowers as well." You're a whole grown man. Don't ever.
This is a heterosexual man?
Men, where that camera at? Don't ever call yourself a baddie.
This is a heterosexual man?
Ever. Don't ever.
Yeah,
he was like,
I'm a baddie. He was like, Norm came running in here.
He was like, "Where's my flowers?" I said, "What?"
I cannot.
I said, "Well, since you're a baddie," I said, "Well, would you like one of my roses?" I said, "I can give you one of them." Child, he called himself a baddie.
See, but again, you.
A little.
Norm. Again, I had a conversation, and I've told this story on the show before, and this is when I realized that there was role reversal and there was a shift. I was dating a guy one time, and he asked me how I felt about him. This was like after 2 months of dating. He asked me how I felt about him, and I told him. I was like, "Oh, well, this, that, or the other," and I'm like, "Okay, well, how do you feel about me?" No.
Wait,
you didn't ask me. I asked you.
I cannot.
And so no, I can't even answer the question for you because clearly you don't even care because you didn't. And I was like,
conversation ends.
And I was like,
it's over.
It's like, heard you, sis. Calm down.
And I was like, oh, okay, I get it. You grew up with your mother. You grew up with your sisters.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so you're taking on that emotion and you think that that's universal emotion. You don't realize that that's feminine energy, right? And I was like, oh, okay, I get it now. So then the rest of the time we dated, no, not him, Norm. So then the rest of the time,
we are trying to figure it out.
Norm trying to figure it out. I'm like, no, not that one, not that one.
Oh gosh.
So I'm like the rest of the time we talked to each other, which was only like another month because I couldn't do it after that. I realized there was a role reversal. Yeah. Like there would be times like he would be talking and it sounded like nagging, and I'd be like, "So we going out or we not going out? Like what we doing here?" And then I realized I was like, "Ooh, LaToya." You acting like every man you ever been with right now. And he acting like real feminine. And I had to catch myself. And I was like, this dynamic between us isn't good.
Yeah.
Because I'm taking on something that I'm not. You doing whatever the hell that is. And I was like, I said, this is a complete and utter role reversal. And I feel like it's something that started. And unfortunately, social media and all of our reality shows and all that stuff has just made it worse from something where, as a people, we were starting to switch roles, and now it's worse than it ever was before, right? So there was a question in the chat where one of the guys said, "Are women still taught to be wives nowadays?"
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, I grew up in a household. I had two parents, a stepdad, and I wanted that.
Yeah.
Obviously, because I was married for 2 decades.
Yeah.
And I think as long as you have an example, whether it's the Cosbys,
I love the Cosbys. I still watch them.
Whether it's the Cosbys or it was at home, our generation grew up wanting to be wives.
Right. Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like maybe our generation of women, we still are that generation where maybe we were taught that. Maybe the next ones.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a little different.
Maybe not.
Yeah, it might be a little different for them.
But even I just read Yusuf Green. He said something earlier where he said, like, these new modern women were taught to be independent. And I understand where he's coming from, because a lot of women who have this, like, well, I'm an independent woman, I don't need no man, and this, that, and the third. You can be independent but still be soft. You can be independent and still be feminine.
Right.
You can be independent and still want a man, because I don't think anybody needs much of anything. But for you to want somebody in your space and somebody who's going to be, you know, at your side to help you along with bills and the kids and, you know,
unfortunately, all of us in here are single. So unfortunately, all of us have to be independent, right?
Right.
So all of us in here are taking care of and managing and doing all the things for ourselves and for other people.
Right.
You know, everybody in here is doing that.
But
so,
just because I'm doing it doesn't mean I always want to do it alone.
Right.
And
So
that's
just
the
because-
problem.
Right. Just because
Like,
I'm independent
yeah, I can put up
and
cabinets
and you
fix
see me
stuff.
living this life, and you see me doing all the things, you see me on the vacations, you see whatever I'm buying, you're seeing all that stuff. That doesn't mean that is the life that I want to live without a partner.
Right.
But I feel like in dating, and you guys correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm going somewhere with this. I feel like in dating, when you meet people, I have heard the intimidating comment.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Let's go into y'all experiences with this, please.
So I definitely feel like being new to the dating and now on my own definitely was intimidating. I actually stopped, or very early on, bringing people to my home because my house was intimidating, and you could tell because they were like, oh, and you actually got the looks. And I just, even when I pick my profile words and I pick how I'm talking to you once we get to the talking stage, I'm making sure, like, I'm so
Are you dumbing yourself down now?
Yeah. No, I'm not dumbing it down, but I'm being cautious of how I feed you my information about myself.
Okay.
Because I realized my career is intimidating. My lifestyle is intimidating. I literally, over the summer, the guys that were in the talking stage, oh yeah, this is going nice. This is going nice. Let me see if you make it through the summer, because I know my summer is busy. So let me see if, and sure enough, they dropped off because they were, oh, you doing this again? You going what again? Oh, you outside? No, I'm not outside. It's like,
I was a city girl.
yeah.
Oh my
She's
God.
like a city girl.
Yeah, they called me a city girl because I do stuff. Like, I do family events. I do stuff with my friends.
Yes.
I do stuff with my child.
You just not sitting in the
enjoying
house.
life.
Yeah.
sitting in the
You just
house.
not sitting
Even
in the
when
house.
I was in a relationship, we did things together
Yeah.
still. But now that I am single again, I do stuff. And the person was like, oh, no, yeah. You
busy.
outside again.
You
I'm
busy,
like,
yeah.
outside.
Yeah.
I'm going with my family.
Yeah.
But to them, it's like, you're out doing, and you're on the
Right.
streets, basically.
Yeah.
Right.
All right.
Akisa, I want to come to you with this because, I mean, again, being the fourth member of Allure, right? So, I'm not on the same, celebrity status as everybody else. You know what I mean? So I'm like on the Z list. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm all the way down here on the Z list. But the fact of the matter is that I still work in entertainment. Everybody
Right.
knows my day job is still in entertainment. So I could be around whomever or be wherever, this, that, or other. And I have been told that, I was told by one guy in particular, he said to me, when we talk about, our celebrity crushes or this, that, or the other, for us, it's just talk. It's just dreaming, this, that, or the other. He was like, but LaToya, you are actually around these people on a daily basis, and this is work for you. And that is intimidating. And I said to him, I was like, you do know ain't none of them men thinking about me though, right? Like you do know, like they're not thinking about me. And furthermore, if I'm in a relationship with somebody, I'm not thinking about them,
So he
right?
At the drop of a dime,
Right,
you can leave
right,
him
right,
person.
right.
Okay.
And I've been told that, and I'm like, what I do for a living has come up in so many conversations with men.
Mm-hmm.
So many conversations with men. And I'm like, yeah, but are you getting to know me? And do you know I don't do this and I'm not like that and that's not
Right.
my world and
Right.
I'm not out just sleeping with this one because he got a name or he got money or he in lights and this, like Akisa, you know, you date a couple, you know what I mean? I'm Z-list right now, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, dated a couple, you know what I mean? But yeah, it ain't for me. I'm
Right.
not doing that no more. Yeah,
Right.
I just, it's a no, right? So my point is that Akisa, what do you go through? You said, I like dating people from around the way. What do you experience with this whole intimidation topic with, didn't y'all just come back? Where were y'all?
In Denmark.
Y'all was just
Yeah.
performing someplace
Yeah.
around the world with this one, that one. You got songs with Nas. Is Nas single? I'm just asking.
I think he. Well, from what I've seen,
yeah,
I think he's been linked to like one or two people in the past like year. So I don't know if it's still.
Is he single now?
I don't know, girl.
Because I mean, y'all had the song with him, so like if he come back and do the song, you know what I mean? I might
Just saying.
dibble and dabble again with the song. No, I'm just saying.
And that boy's still fine. So please.
And he's still fine.
God,
Lord
Jesus.
have mercy.
That make no sense.
Listen, my maiden name is already Jones, so it's like
Right, exactly.
Anyway, but what do you experience with that?
For me, honestly, I can honestly say throughout all the relationships that I've had,
Yeah.
right, like relationships,
Yeah.
there was only one that I experienced that like that insecure. You get up in everybody's face and blah blah blah. I get it all the time, like, cause you know me, like I'm a people person. I'm friendly, but that don't mean anybody could just get in my face or I'm just gonna be kikiing and cuddly
Right.
with just everybody.
Right.
I'm just a nice person at heart. So
Yeah.
and people misread that. People have a huge misconception about my personality and who I am, because right away is, oh, you got men in your face and you always, too friendly and too this and too that. And it's like, my job consists of me dealing with people,
Right.
whether it's me singing or me here on Thursdays at the radio show, or even with you, with the ladies now. Even when me and Norm go out, like to go and go have lunch, people are always around. People are always talking to us. So it's like that those insecurities in men can be like really crazy. But I only experienced that one time, and it was a terrible experience. But other than that, I've never really had like. I've been trusted in relationships, so to speak. But they'll be like, oh, they go da da da. The most they'll say is, oh, you over there with your boyfriend. Everybody knows I've been married to Denzel for like 25 years. We know this, right? He might not know, but we know this. But it's the same thing. Like, I make jokes like, oh, that's my husband. That's my boo. Like, everybody knows Bruno Mars is my husband. That boy ain't thinking about me.
Right.
But these men that are on our side have this thing, like you said,
They be
well,
your boyfriend.
it may come a time that you might be around, and if he give you the time of day, what, you gonna jump on it? And it's like, where do we lose sight of, if I love you, I mean it.
Right.
Like,
right.
You know what I mean? Like,
are
if
you getting to know me, or are you
Right.
just going to be intimidated by the title or what
exactly.
you got to do
and
or where you go?
And that's the part
right?
that's so crazy, because
Right.
like these men can be attracted to you, and you can ask them, well, what was the reason why you chose me, or whatever the case may be. So all these qualities that I possess that attracted you to me in the first place, now they're out the window because we done spent a whole year and a half, maybe even two, and you still don't know who I am. I haven't shown you anything, and you know
don't
me.
trust me.
And I get the same thing you do. Oh, you busy all the time. You always moving around. I'm like, this is my life. Like, this is half the time I
But
want to
you
stay
knew
home.
this.
But Toya, you know me. Like, you see me. Where am I most of the time? With my family.
Home.
I have my fun, and you can go on my page. It's rare if you see me out. Like, it's very rare. I go out if I have to with the girls, or if I'm with Norm, if I'm with y'all. But 99.999% of the time, I'm with my children, with my daughter, my grandbabies, and my family. I have my fun at home. Well, I'd much rather be there. It's safer, and it's
that goes back to they believe what's on social media.
Right, right.
And they think that's your whole life.
But you can post 85 posts that you in your house. Yes. But the minute you post outside, oh, there she go outside and nigga face. Like, what are we talking about?
Exactly. And then everybody's intimidated. Tiffany,
Oh my
I know you
God.
have some stories. I want to hear. Go ahead.
I have had intimidated intimidated stories, and I think I mentioned one of the main ones last week where this guy said he wanted to take me out. He was interested, but the way that I am with my life, I seemed like I was too busy.
Yeah.
And he said, I can't deal with somebody that's too busy. Now, I'm just going to be honest. I'm not the person to just micromanage a man. I'm not going to sit back and be like, what you doing every 5 seconds? Who you on the phone with? Half the time, like even with my ex, and when I do talk, a lot of times I'll just say my ex or my late husband, because those are the longest relationships I've had. And those are relatable, and those are honestly the most dearest relationships I've had. And so my ex and I could be in a room. I'm not one of those women to make noise to let it be known that I'm in the back, I'm in the room, or make my presence known.
Yes.
If you want somebody like that, go find somebody like that.
Right.
I'm not going to sit up here and try to chase you down to see what you're doing. If I tell you that I'm willing to make time for you and stop what I'm doing, regardless what it is, I'll do that. One thing about me, like you had said, I love love. I love love, love giving love, love being in love. But what I'm not going to do anymore is allow that part to be taken for granted in such a way that I'm being puppeted by anybody. Those days are done. I have given, I have lost, I have taken. And I went and had a conversation with someone last week, and someone had said to me, one of my girlfriends, big shout out to Pastor Danielle Brown, pastor over here, shameless plug, over at Shiloh Baptist Church, right over here in West 5th. And when I tell you, we were just talking, and she said, Tiff, I don't think you realize you have gone through a lot of stuff. And this is what we do as women. We go through and we go through. So whatever it is that we deal with, we cry behind closed doors. People have no idea about as many silent tears, how many nights we've cried, we've screamed, we've cursed, and then we leave the house like, oh, I'm the baddest chick. They don't know. You know what I'm saying? From I've buried a husband, I've dealt with breakup, I've dealt with loss of jobs, I've been with repossessions, I've had stuff lost, just lost of friends, just loss. And at the end of the day, and people talk about how even with divorce is just as bad as a death.
It's a grief.
It's still a grief thing.
Well, mine was a celebration. I can't really agree with that one. But for most people, it's sad. Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I cannot deal with anybody who's going to be intimidated. I'm a hard worker. And so my thing is, if you don't want somebody that's a hard worker that can still bring life and value to you, then I'm not the one.
Yeah. I want to read this comment here. Aisha said, and this is my girl, hey Ish. Aisha said, I held myself back for years from buying a home because I didn't want to deter a man from feeling like he could not provide for me. Then I realized I was depriving myself for a man that may never come. So I bought my house. If a man can be intimidated by my success, he's not my man. Don't penalize women for having to care for themselves and then call the ones who don't gold diggers. And just because I can take care of myself doesn't mean I don't know how to be a wife. It means I'm just not one now.
Ooh.
Can we clap that up? Can we clap that up?
I love that.
Clap that up.
Yep.
Yes. My friend Tasha. Hey, Tasha. Tasha said those silent tears. Girl, bye. She ushered Tasha done ushered me through the silent tears.
I mean, the nights are howling.
I think I cried since Wednesday. I haven't cried today, but I think I cried from like Wednesday to yesterday, and I could not
People
get it
don't
together.
Understand.
They don't get it. Like we literally suffer in silence, and then still wake up the next morning and show up for everybody. Like no matter what I go through. It just doesn't stop me. Like, if I love you, I'm going to show up for you, and I'm going to show it the best way I can. And if I can't, I'm going to tell you I can't.
Yeah.
But if I'm showing up for you constantly in every sense of the word, but you still don't know me, then there's a problem with you, sir.
So I got a question for y'all, because this is something I was talking about with one of my friends a little earlier, right? There was a guy when we were doing the show, and I had the fellas on the show. I was looking over here. Y'all, I keep my Instagram over here, right? So when y'all see me looking over here or talking or commenting, it's because Instagram people are saying stuff over here. We were doing one of the last shows, and one of the guys got on here and said, "LaToya, if you are such a good woman and you are the woman that you say you are, why hasn't anyone chose you yet?" I'm going to repeat that.
I heard you the first time.
All right. I'm going to repeat it.
Right.
That's
because
crazy.
ever since he said it, after he said it to me here, I saw he posted it on his page.
I know you lying.
And so it's
Wait, in general or about you?
He said it to me personally on here, and then when he posted it on his page, I guess it was just in general, right? And this has been rolling in my head ever since he said it, because I'm like, huh? So I want to ask you ladies, number one, do you consider yourself to be a good woman? And do you think there's any correlation between being a good woman and being chosen by someone because you are a good woman? Go ahead, Shalonda. I'm going to start with you.
Lord.
All right, what was the first question?
Do you consider yourself to be a good woman?
I do.
Okay.
But, I mean, I had a conversation with somebody about good and nice. So,
okay.
I was told that you can't be a good person and a nice person. But so yes, I'm going to consider myself a good woman, but there are still some things I feel like I can work on, relationship wise, and myself.
Okay.
To be the person that I would want in a relationship, and that person, what I want from that person as well.
Okay.
So yes, I do consider myself a good woman, especially the older I get.
Yes.
Because like I said, I told you ladies last week, I want to be in a relationship. I want to be a wife, and that's just me. I want my own person. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's question one.
What's the question?
So question two, do you think there's a correlation between being a good woman and being chosen by a man?
Ooh.
So if you are,
I feel like anybody can choose you.
Anybody
can choose you for whatever reason that they have, whatever intentions that they have. It's just a matter of you choosing them. I think we should be the ones to choose who we. Because I think somebody said last week the man has to choose us. Did somebody say that last week or something like that? If I'm not mistaken.
I don't know. We might have said something.
I stand corrected. But I feel like, I mean, I feel like we're the ones that do the choosing. So, yeah.
Okay. Jessica?
Okay. So, yes, I do think I'm a good woman.
Okay.
I know what I bring to the table. And as far as good woman correlating to chosen, I definitely agree with Sha. We do the choosing. Actually, you know what? I think it's got to be a mutual chose. Like because I was recently I was past the talking stage. It was in the dating stage, and I thought we had chosen, and I came to a realization that I had did the choosing, and it hurt because I had to realize that I wasn't being chosen. And I was doing all of the stuff.
Like, what is his intention?
No, but I was doing. I started doing the stuff that we talked about, and I was like, and then I'm looking back, and I'm like, oh, he was telling me, and I wasn't listening because I was choosing.
He was too busy pursuing. He was too busy pursuing. We gonna stop that one.
I'm trying.
She's like, I'm trying. Yeah, girl. Akisa, let's go, girl. Let's go, girl.
I think I'm alright. No. I do. I know I am a good woman. I don't think. I know I am a good woman because I came from one. That's one. Two, I agree with what both the ladies said about the correlation. I feel like it should be a mutual thing because if we can be fair, as women, have been through a lot, whether it be relationships, life, period, but so have men. So I've been in situations where I didn't feel safe in a relationship that I was in. Like, I just recently went through something with someone who forever I will love him to death because he opened up portals in me that I didn't even know existed there. But in the same breath, although I felt safe, there was a part of me that I have to work on as far as, like, because we're emotional creatures naturally. But there were moments where I felt like I wasn't being a good woman because I was expressing myself in a way that he wasn't happy with. Like, when men feel like, well, you're raising your voice and you're getting aggressive and you're doing whatever. I don't think I was being aggressive. Well, I was being aggressive. I was being a little bit aggressive. Not that I was putting hands on him, but just with the way that I was speaking. Because you know what it is? That a lot of times we make the mistake of bottling things up and harboring things as opposed to addressing it. But if I don't feel safe, and I don't mean safe as far as like you beating me. If I don't feel safe as far as
safe in your energy,
I know what it is, right? In my presence, but I know what we have.
Right.
If I don't have clarity in that, or if I feel like, well, why am I doing all this, and why am I showing up this way when there might be 3 other women that are doing the same exact thing? So right now I'm just playing a position, not even an actual role. So instead of addressing these things in the beginning, I didn't. And I let it harbor. And then when the moment came up that we were talking about something, and then I tried to segue into it. Oh, that's kind of like this. It was too late. So everything came out. So I was a little bit disappointed in myself at that point because I know that I can have a conversation without having to get loud or, or be overly emotional. But like Jessica said, or Shah said earlier, like these are things that we know that we're working on as, on ourselves as women. Yeah. But at the same time, I shouldn't have to tiptoe or feel intimidated, like she said earlier. Like, if you know me and you know the kind of person I am, then you should allow me to be myself and explain. And I feel like a lot of men just want quiet women who don't say nothing. Because at the end of the day, if me explaining myself to you or telling you how I feel about something becomes a problem, sir, like, what have you been through? Like, did you get hugged as a child enough? Because they'll talk to us however. Like, I allow a man to be a man. Express stuff how you can express stuff. As long as you don't disrespect me, we good.
Right.
But the minute I express myself and tell you something that I don't feel comfortable with, now I'm being a problem. And I don't like that. I don't. But I am working on me. I'm working on me as far as accountability. I can push it forward, but at the same time, intimidation plays a huge part as well. And if you're not giving that to me, why do you want so much from me when you're not even willing to meet me halfway?
Yep.
It's still not gonna make me not say I'm, hold myself accountable, but still, like, it's too much tit for tat.
Yep, it's too much.
If I want to date a woman, I'll date a woman.
Do you know how many times I say that? Because
I'm not one of the women that act. I'm not one of those girls that acts like a man. Like, I'm very soft. I'm very feminine.
Right. And then
can you please come love me?
If you are getting too close,
I don't get it.
I'll be like, I didn't think I was gay.
Right.
I'll be like,
but that's what I'm saying. It's like the minute we say, I have a question for you. It's the word question makes them crash out in the
affection anymore.
Oh my God.
I'm an affectionate person. And they don't even show like a hug. Like,
that love language is definitely physical touch and quality
I'm
time.
affectionate, touchy-feely, and you barely even. Well, I'm not you, but from those that I've experienced now, you barely even get that. You barely even get that anymore. And it's just like,
Tiffany.
Kind of world am I in? Somebody come love me, please.
Come love me, please.
I love myself.
Look, that's how I feel. That's how I feel right now. That's how I feel right now. Tiffany.
Well, I know without a shadow of a doubt that I am a good woman.
Yes, you are.
Thank you, kids. I am a good woman. And when it comes to who does the choosing, as I listened to you ask that question, I said to myself, and I wrote it down, they choose, I accept, or they choose, and I reject. I'm not choosing like that. Now, I will say, I saw my ex, when I met my ex, I saw him and said to my girlfriend, who is that? And she said, nope, that's my cousin. And I said, I don't care. I said, I want that one right there. I said, that's going to be my man. And she ended up giving him my number. And guess what? He called me. He had a choice. He chose to. When men see us, they are the ones that have the choice to approach us. They're the ones that say, oh, okay, that is the one. So when that statement was made, why aren't
if you're such a good woman, why are you still single, basically?
Yeah, because at the end of the day, because you have not accepted being that person's chosen one does not mean that you have not been somebody's choice. And I'm going to clap for myself. Because at the end of the day, just because you rejected does not mean that somebody did not choose you. So I think they need to be very clear on what their definition of choosing is and why you did not choose the person. It's not that you didn't choose them. You chose not to accept the proposal or what they were offering because you decided not to settle.
Come and clap that up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna clap that up. What he said to me and then what he posted to talk, I said to him, it's not that I haven't been chosen. I don't like my options.
That part.
This tonight. I want to be led. If you can't lead me anywhere, if you can't show me, why would I choose? Why would I accept good woman? And I don't like the men who were trying to choose me because you can't take me anywhere.
Right.
Yes. You can't take me anywhere. You can't lead me anywhere.
You're gonna make me throw
you
this.
Can't encourage me to be.
Where would we go?
Matters, and this is why women do not get the opportunity to submit to the right man. And so instead of us being able to submit to the right one, we'll be looked at as rebellious, bougie, or we this type of woman that think we better than the next. No, you did not present yourself in a way where we should have been able to accept what you were offering.
Yeah,
and
none of the above.
Why get caught up in
no? So I ding the offer. It has to be. I don't
reject people in my feelings and emotions either. So my thing is, I'll just say thank you so much.
Same thing, but that's only if I know the person.
And
you know what I mean?
If it's somebody, and I don't have a problem, but you know, no, when they keep going, that's when I go ahead and let that other side come out. Right. But for the most part, but at the end of the day, there's a way to turn people down nice.
Anywhere yet? Then without money
I
at
was
all.
dealing with this. This man was better with saving money. I'm getting ready to go to Super Walmart and load up on all these plugins because I'm obsessed with smells.
There's nothing wrong with that.
But at the end of the day, and so it's not even about the money.
He could have been one of them. So again, completely useless. Listen, we are not done. We do have more. Oh, wait a minute. I didn't even talk. We have the live show that is coming up, everybody. It's going to be on January 11th. Gotten your tickets be a part of the conversation. There's going to be food. There's going to be drinks. Norm don't even know it, but he's going to be DJing. And so we're going to have music. We're going to have fun. Can go community together because that's conversation. So get you, and we do have a number of people that make sure you guys are there live and be a part of this conversation. Listen, y'all. Hey, child, my son is waving at me. And we had the therapist on and we had the coach on, and so I just want to make sure through some things, and then we'll have the therapist and the coach. Just love on one another. Listen, we're coming to the end of the show, and we got to Tiffany. So it's good. I thank you all for your input. Continue this on. I'm gonna have you back. We just got to figure out when. For watching, we love you guys for listening. Queen B, get better. Don't bring no germs back
Feel
here.
better, mama.
For you, Lord, send your healing power to our house.
Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Don't you bring no germs back in here, girl, when you come back in here. But I love you all for watching. I love you all for listening. And God willing, we'll be back here next week, same time, same place, different show. Jeff, take us away. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you.